Hi, Libra. Anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. Anyone returning, hi. Welcome back. So happy September, Libra. So you come after Virgo, okay? There's something strong that you need to learn from, interesting, from Virgo. It's the Hermit. I was considering showing you just the sky. Maybe we'll do that while I shuffle, okay? You can take a few breaths and kind of just sort of absorb the day going by. It's a nice contrast, Libra. You're going to be sensitive during this month, Libra. At very least, you're sensitive the end of August, okay, into September. I see a little face up there. Do you see that? In this second pane window, like up there. I also see this face right there. It's blowing right out. You see it? She's blowing all those dark clouds away, right? There's the eagle there too. I see another face also. I think it's important for you to continue to look at this, okay? I do want you to see the trees. Let's leave it there. There we go. Sorry. Okay, take a breath. You see that? It just started to rain. And then it just went away. See, I think that's what happens sometimes, right? Is that it's mostly a blue sky, little clouds, it's fine, and then you look up and see the face of God, right, and understand what it is. And then you're like, yeah, I have the power to blow that away from me, you know, those shadows. And what happens? But the cloud comes right behind you, right? But I guess that's life. The question is what are we going to do about it? How do we function? Oh, I'm so sorry. That kind of... It's like those clouds, like that jolting just shifted the mood, right? So I see that it's important for you to have movement, okay? It's good to rest. There's a need for both, okay? Now, I see that your inner child wants you to keep faith, okay? Keep faith in what it is that you're doing. Keep faith in... Well, I heard keep faith in the faith that you are gaining, okay? We talked about this last month, like when you go into the shadow, right? When there's more clouds, when it's darker, well, you lose a bit of faith, right? Sometimes you just want to throw away all the faith. But I see that it's important for you not to do that. Okay? I see in a way that something's kind of draining your energy. Leo season can do that because it's the sun and all the Leos are, you know, at least the Leo suns are taking up a lot of the energy, right? They're usually very excited in their birth month, and so it leaves, you know, not that there isn't an infinite source, but I sense that it depletes a little bit from the collective during Leo season, especially when you're an autumn, you know, well, closer to the Arctic autumn baby, right? Now, the turkey vulture is your animal, okay? At least during this time you can learn from them. They're very patient and they don't hurt anything. They clean up people's messes. You know, Libras kind of do that. You know, karmic messes or whatever. But I sense with Saturn in your 4th house, you have to learn to clean up your own mess, right? I see that you're building new structures in who it is that you are as a person, overall, separate from the family that you were brought up in or made yourself. You know, who are you as an individual? You know, there's a lesson to learn Leo season. There's actually, I think there's about a day left of Leo season. But Leo's masculine like you know. I see that your heart is actually quite masculine. Like there's men protecting your heart. There's male energy protecting your heart in this present point, okay? There's a reason for it, but I sense that that also is what is a little bit of draining your energy, okay? You have to remember to breathe, okay? Now in the future, you have to make you have to choose, okay? Because I see this masculine energy kind of calling you in and being like, you know, sort of holding its hand out to you. And, well, I heard calling you in. But it's a little bit, there's something about the energy that's pulling you at this time and will be pulling you in the future that isn't what... Well, it's brighter than you thought it would be. but there's still something about it that you don't trust. And it goes back to you raising the bar, you know, like I feel like when your ego looks back into the past, and Leo rules the ego, okay? It's like when your ego looks back into the past, it still sees dark clouds, right? That's why they showed up for you so quickly. You know, it's still releasing parts of it, emotionally speaking, from your mind, even like you've been rewiring your mental pathways since last year, okay? It's been about a year and maybe about a year and a half. I'd say a year solid at very least. You've been rewiring your brain, okay? That is not an easy task to do. You are able and capable to do so, though, because you are an air sign, okay? Can you see the beautiful pinks that are happening over here? They'll show up. Oh, look, can you see that little speckle? There's a plane going by. But there's no exhaust trail because it doesn't need it to fly. It can just do it like a bird, right? I really want you to see the pink ones because they're about healing. Hold on a second. Let's do it this way. Oops, sorry, Libra. Maybe there. I have an old school tripod. 1 second. That's pretty nice. A little bit of tree. See, sometimes you have to adjust the viewpoint, right? But like in that adjustment, what happened? It wasn't very smooth, right? There was something about it where it sort of was even shocking for a second, right? You didn't want to do that. That wasn't your intention, but that happened. So then it's like, all right, how do we get back to the focus of what we really wanted to, you know, what are we really looking at? How are we really viewing the situation? And I see that your strength right now, if you can actually take the time, which just means that you care about yourself, that you love yourself, but you take 4 minutes a day to lay down and just be in your body. You know, it's Virgo season. They're very introspective. They're preparing for the winter, right? Of course, in Australia, this is spring, but even the tarot represent Earth as the harvest, right? Which is interesting to think about, but that's another story. The point is when you're laying there, and it can be at any time of day, but I sense that it's important for you to do it when you feel desired to do, like you feel compelled to do that. But if you need to, set an alarm. You know, maybe it's something that's not a part of your regular schedule now, this regularly scheduled programming, right? You know, this indoctrination doesn't teach us about caring for ourselves, right? How to be in our body. We're supposed to ignore our body, right? Not be anxious, not be upset, not be mad. not be anything but content and going to work and da 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 da. And you know, as a sign that deals with balance, you function within the energy of whether humanity feels balanced or not is in a way how imbalanced you are. So you have double the work than other people. That's why it's challenging for you sometimes to just decide that life is fun, that life is creative and awesome and expressive and peaceful, because we kind of forget to take a minute to just look at the sky. Just watch it and watch, you know, even with all the things that are challenging or difficult that are going on within or without of our control, it's the only control that we have is how do we feel in this moment. I see that someone wants someone to wake up. Okay? That's what they're saying. Wake up. Wake up. You get a lot on your mind, Libra. I see that. I see that it's very, very, very important for you to pray. Okay? You feel energetically drained. I want you to pray for more energy. You want a different outlook on the past and what has happened, then pray for a new outlook and an acceptance to what has happened. Okay? You want life to be more fun? Pray for that. You know, it doesn't just happen because we don't have it. Something doesn't happen because we don't have it if we don't ask for what it is that we want. You have to decide. Right? That was last year. Interesting. I guess watching maybe last September would be important. I think that was a pretty heavy reading, actually. That's the one that I recall. It was either August or September when I cried for you. Do you remember, those of you who were here? I see that life is short, okay? And I know, again, you know, there's no pentacles here, so it's so important for you to be in your body, okay? I don't have a feeling that there's any kind of lack of money. You're probably fine. I think your angels or whatever it is you connect with, your ancestors, aren't going to let you, the turkey vulture is not going to let you fall. Okay? But it's very important for you to continue, you know, your inner child is stabilizing. It's learning new boundaries. Okay? Within yourself, about yourself and how you function within your life, within love of self and of others, and having a different outlook on the family. Okay? I'm not saying that the things that happened that were hurtful or dark or whatever, your past, it's not that that was acceptable, but it's that you're gaining a different viewpoint to what it is, okay? In Vedic astrology, Jupiter is actually in Libra this year, in your first house, as it was last year in Western. And in a way that makes a lot of sense, that both of those things sort of exist in same and different times. okay? Because that means that in September, or excuse me, well, I guess that probably has something to do with it. We're starting the process now, right? Preparation before Jupiter goes into Sagittarius, or in Vedic goes into Scorpio. You know, so right now you're figuring out who it is that you are. And it's so good that Saturn is in your 4th house for a year, prepping you so that when Saturn goes into your 2nd house of your resources, of your self-value, of value in general, you know, then it won't be so frictional, okay? That any kind of conflictual energy that you do have that's blocking you from loving you and all it is that you are, all the magical, beautiful properties, right? All your sensitivity, Libra, you're allowed to be sensitive, Libra. You're allowed to express yourself emotionally. You know, you have no cups here. But you do have the High Priestess, and sometimes she can represent Pisces. And I sense that with the Pisces full moon that's coming up on the 26th, it would be very important for you to take advantage of that and to ask again to be released of anything that no longer serves you, okay? Anything in the past that you can't let go of mentally, whether that's a memory, an emotion, a feeling, whatever, your instinctual abilities, your blockage of intuition at times, or at very least the sensitivity that comes in because of things in the past, like situations where no one came out a winner, you know, in a way, so that you can be more, you know, maybe there are things, I sense that there are things that you need to release so that you can be more patient, okay, in the process of healing and where it is that you're going. I see any of you who are dealing with matters of the heart. It's important to keep positive about and aware of where it is that you're going and where it is that you want to go, okay? Don't let the water just take you down the river where you want. You know, people say, oh, flow with the river. Sure, flow with the river, but also understand that you're allowed to have a paddle, okay? No one ever said you're not allowed an oar when you're floating down the river. So you can direct yourself a little bit better and get where it is that you want to go. Because just flowing with the river in some ways is sort of complacent, you know? Yes, it's important to just be a part of nature, you know, absorb it, feel it out, know that it's awesome to be here and to be alive, and that you have the choice in that being alive, right? Uranus in your 8th in Scorpio's house for you. The next 7 years is strong about death, okay? Most of you understand that your parents aren't going to live forever. You're going to really sense that your children aren't going to live forever. Those of you who have them, you're not going to live forever. Nothing is forever. I mean, nothing is old and nothing is new, but nothing is forever. Exactly the way that it is now. So, trust yourself in where it is that you are, and know that you can awaken anything that's asleep in you, okay? I see, I actually want to look at you before it gets too dark. There you go. Hi. The people that hurt you in the past, Libra, you can let go of that, okay? You can let go of that. I know that it still hurts. There's things that are still buried a bit, right? And I think all of humanity collectively will be unearthing a lot next, and at very least, well, the rest of our lives, but I see until September. I keep saying that, and I mean to say December. Interesting. I used to do that in May, too, and say that it was March. March, April, May, September, October, November. There's a 2-month situation, Libra. But you already know that in a way. So from September, I guess you have to ask yourself, where is it that you want to be in November? So you're going down the river. You know that it's a 2-month journey. It takes 2 months to get wherever it is that the next step, I guess. So figure out what you want that to look like in a way, okay? It's not a great time to manifest because we're going towards the full moon, so you're trying to complete something. Okay, it's all your little projects getting done, right? Little things that you're working on, working out the details of it, right? All the details of it, logically speaking. And then know, because whether you connect the dots or not consciously, you know that there's still something in you that's very dissatisfied, that blocks you from feeling, again, that life is just fun, that it's creative, that it's, again, the imbalance of Mother Nature, the imbalance of humanity. It's a lot, okay? So you have to remember that that's why it's so important for you to love yourself, to love yourself and give yourself that love. Yeah, to give yourself that love that you, I heard, deserve, and know that the first one-on-one relationship you have, really, well, one of the most important ones is the one that you have with yourself, okay? The one that you have with your inner child. We're talking about Saturn in the 4th house. Well, how do you mother you? You're good at mothering other people, but how do you mother yourself? You know what I mean? How do you care for your inner child? How do you as a mama care for your inner child? It's so important. And those of you who actually have children, of course, this would be reflective, right? I do see that you want more like a spark. You want energy in some sort of way that's emotionally fulfilling, okay? That's fiery, that's passionate. I see that you can ask to be released. Yes. You can ask to be released from whatever it is that binds you. And if you don't know exactly what it is, You can just say it in a way that's like, I wish to be released from the confines that block me from truly connecting to source. You know? Truly connect me. Whatever blocks me from connecting to who I really am and all I can be, release me from it. This emotional stagnancy, release me from it. I see that you get that from your mother. Can't really see these. See if we can do it this way. Okay, it's the Empress there. You know? Release me from whatever it is. These are so blocking, right? These bookending. This beautiful energy in the center. You're Venus. You are Mother Earth, okay? And I like that the Earth that came out, which wasn't here originally, is the 8 in the page. You know? You looking at your, like you figuring out something about sympathy for your mother, and also in that, again, mothering yourself. You know? That moon and that full moon is in Pisces, okay? You can release a lot of self-undoing. You can do a lot of self-undoing with that moon if you please. Of course, it will transit in your chart individually differently, but collectively, intentionally, you can. We're talking about the moon and Pisces. Moon card is Pisces card, okay? Whatever it is that stops me from raising the bar to having a healthy relationship. Removing the rubble. You know, removing the... I saw you in the rubble of this, and you had bare feet. And you were all covered in soot. And you're naked, and you're just standing there, and you're kind of like... You wanted to leave, but your feet were stuck, and you're trying to get your... I see you going down and like trying to get your leg out of there, but you feel stuck, okay? And there's no one else around, and it's kind of like things are a little bit like still smoldering. There's little fires, nothing big, but it's still smoldering, you know? And you're the only one there. I want you to look at this card. So since you're the only one there, if you really feel stuck, then you got to ask to be released from what it is that makes you stuck, okay? What it is that stops you from, again, loving all that it is that you are, okay? It was just 3333. Yeah. Want to take a big breath? I know your birthday's coming, and you're not like Leo, you know. Your birthday's always a little challenging, right? And it's Virgo season, it's prepping, so... But the important thing is not to worry too much about October. Don't worry too much at all. Just be focused on where it is that you want to go, what you want it to look like, okay? Have an intention, and then leave it there. Just give it to the universe, okay? Give it to God. And then use this full moon to release, okay? So you can free yourself from the confines of how I heard your father and your mother loved you or did not. Okay? Whatever the level of love is, there's always a little bit in there with every child that just didn't get exactly what it needed. Okay? So, and, you know, or the people in your life that just didn't, whatever it didn't do, that that you hang on to because you think you deserve it. Just like Virgo, because you come after them and a little bit of them trickles into you. Okay? Yeah. Be yourself. King of Swords. Be yourself. You're allowed to be a weirdo. Okay? You're allowed to talk about how you feel. All right, I'll leave you with a poem. I gave it to Virgo last time, but I sense that it's important for everyone. It's actually a little song, but I won't sing it because I become shy. But my voice is loud if I actually sing. But the point is that let it brush over your shoulder. Let it slide right off your back. Let it fall where it may. My darling, there's no need for you to turn back. Okay? Take care, all right? See you mid-month.